2 and a warm welcome back. Now, from family abuse and rejection to finding solace in God, a book titled A Confused Child in the Darkness is a life testimony of author and motivational speaker Phumudzo Themeli as he takes us through some of the most difficult obstacles he had to overcome. Let's now welcome Phumudzo into this conversation to tell us more about this heartbreaking story as it tells it in this book. A very good morning to you, Phumudzo. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Morning, Simpiwe. How are you?
Great. How are you, man? Good to have you with us this morning.
Thank you so much for hosting me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, this book shares the struggles and the challenges that you faced in our everyday lives. Why did you decide to share your story?
You know, my journey, it was very painful. I came across with rejection, family disappointments. So I had to realize that we still have people who have fear to stand up for themselves because of abuse. We still have people who are broken spiritually, psychologically. So I'm trying to transform message to them, to give them hope, to be independent, also to stand up for themselves.
And you talk about the hardships and the challenges that were brought about by your parents' separation. And I guess it's a story that can be shared by so many South Africans.
Yes, I came across with poverty. I came across with physical and emotional abuses. I came across with sickness. There was lots of disappointments, actually, where I nearly even dropped out the school, where I nearly became a street kid because of fear that I was experiencing on my daily basis.
And you also talk about your relationship with your mom. Take us through that relationship and how it impacted on your decision to write this book.
My mother, she's my pillar because I saw her struggling a lot in her previous marriages. I saw her struggling a lot to stand up for herself. You know, when you don't have a voice, I saw her crying a lot, willing to be recognized, willing to develop herself because she was very poor. There was nothing on her table. There was nothing that she can say she will depend on. But because of her strength, she ended up stand up. Today we are talking about her. She's a traffic officer. Through all the challenges, the abuses that she went through her previous marriages, the struggle that she went through to be independent for herself.
And I would imagine her watching you right now and beaming with pride, seeing her son being what he is today.
You know, she's my pillar. She never allowed me to give up, even though we were going through struggling. Like even during festive seasons where you find yourself, you don't even have like a tasty rice. You don't even have, she does not even have money to buy me stuff like clothes and everything. But she always encouraged me not to give up on. That is why today, I'm doing everything that I'm doing for the community and other people.
Look at you now. You're a grown man. And, you know, how did you manage then to pull yourself together and out of that situation that you found yourself in? You
know, I took my uncle as my role model. He played a huge, big role in my life. He worked so hard to build a relationship with God. He gave me that platform to be next to God. And then I learned to be independent. I learned to discipline myself. I learned to start to have a fear so that I can be next to God. So those are one of the keys that helped me to develop myself or to build up myself. Discipline, focus, to concentrate, respect.
Yeah. You say that this book gives hope to those that are hopeless. How so?
You know, after I have released this book last year, there are so many people who called me. Some they were having a fear to come out from abuses. Some they were hopeless. Some they were struggling to be independent for themselves. So I have to realize that this book is building some impact to other people's life. Even other social workers are using this book to help children who are suffering with nyaupe to rehabilitate themselves because it has got lots that can inspire you inside.
And I suppose that your situation back then triggered your desire to go out there and help the next person. And you have started an NGO, isn't it, that seeks to help those who are without parents?
I am running NGO for 6 years now. I adopted more than 100 kids under my wings. So those kids, I'm taking care of them every month. And then God is great. 5 of them has already graduated from tertiary under my name. 2 are working under my name. I feel so very proud at my age. I'm not that much old. I'm 29 years old.
Who helps you with funding?
No one. Only God. We don't have a sponsor at the moment, like where we can say we have a potential sponsors. We sometimes get help from small businesses, people assisting us. Every month we provide groceries for them. We host charity events for them. We encourage them. We motivate them, because always when I think about where I come from, so I always recall to stabilize myself and say, what, you know what, you need to help other people to grow. I don't want to see other people suffering. I don't want to see those. I don't want those kids to see what I've went through when I was growing up. Right. So the pain always comes back on me. I say, you know what, Phumudzo, can you please help these kids? Because if you check, my kids, they're from 5 years to 19 years, and most of them, they're vulnerable. They can be vulnerable for human trafficking. We are living in a dangerous world. HIV can affect them. So I'm trying to build their future.
You know, it takes a real man. It takes a real
through
man
the experience that I went through when I was growing up. I thank all the challenges that I went through. And I also thank poverty, the abuse, and the rejections that I went through when I was growing up. You know what?
God is watching and He will bless you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Well, Phumudzo Themeli is an author, a motivational speaker, and MC. He was speaking to us about his personal story that he has narrated in a book titled A Confused Child in the Darkness. Let's go for coffee.